Okay, my fellow temple runners, ready for the next part or in the adventure, the Temple Run adventure. So today we're going to be starting to actually write our story, and we're going to start this story off with a character description. So hopefully you've chosen who your character is. So let's just take a quick look at some of those characters you might be writing about today. Here we go then. So if we take a look into the menu, you can see the one that I've been playing about with is Guy Dangerous. So he's going to be my character. So think about what he's wearing there. You might want to change bits and pieces, but I'm going to keep him like that for the moment. You might also be doing Scarlet Fox. She could be your chosen character for this adventure. Or it may be that you want to come up with something slightly different as well. So we've got our character name first of all. So let's think about how we're going to put our character into this story. So to keep everyone on track and in the same place with this story, we're gonna do it in a slightly different way that we might do in class. So we're all going to start off with the very first same sentence and the very last same sentence, and then we're going to tweak what's in the middle. We're going to make that bit ourselves. So all of your stories, we're going to start with this sentence. Obviously, you're going to change your character's name. So as Guy stared into the black eyes, he thought back to how he had got here. So he's going to be looking into the eyes of the idol. That's the plan. And then we're going to be ending in with this one. And again, I've left a few gaps for you to fill in. So dressed in something and something. He was ready for anything but this. So I want you to start today's piece of work with this sentence, and I want you to end it with this sentence. In between, that's where we're going to add in our own description. So we're going to describe our character there. And I want you to use a couple of different techniques. So I want you to try and use either a phrase list or a list sentence. So if you're using a list sentence, think about those commas. Phrase list, think about the semicolons. And I'd also like you to think about a 2A sentence. So I'll go through 2 adjectives followed by a noun, 2 adjectives followed by a noun. So we'll have a look at an example that I've done for this one and think about how that fits in. So here's my example then. You can see I've got my first sentence that I've copied down. As Guy stared into the black eyes, he thought back to how he'd got here. So we're all going to start with that one. Then the first thing that I wanted you to do was your character description was a phrase list of some sort. So I've tweaked it slightly. So let's see if we can spot that phrase list or the list sentence. So Guy Dangerous was an archaeologist, kind of. Some people called him an adventurer, a daredevil, an explorer. Others call him a braggart and a swashbuckler. So this is my phrase list sentence. So from there down to there, pretty much. You may have spotted that actually I've done it as a bit of a some other sentence. Some people called him this, others called him that. That might be a technique you can use. The way I did this one, I put down some people called him an adventurer. So I kind of found a word that I really wanted to describe Guy as. So I went for an adventurer, and then I tried to find some synonyms, some other examples of a word adventurer. So I went online and looked up into an online thesaurus to check those out, and I came up with daredevil and an explorer. Because they're more than one word, I decided to put those with a phrase list using my semicolons there to separate them out. If you're just going to use individual words, then just use commas to separate them out. That's fine. With the others, I literally did the same thing. I went for one. These sound really good. These are something you would want to be: an adventurer, daredevil, and explorer. For this one, I kind of went on the more negative side. So it's just a different way of doing it. A braggart is like a show-off, and a swashbuckler is, again, similar to an adventuring show-off in a way. And then I just ended that bit off. To be honest, Guy was all of these and more. So I did my description, I tweaked it a little bit so you can use some of those ideas. So that's the first type of sentence I want you to do. The next one was this 2A sentence. So here I'm looking for 2 adjectives followed by a noun. So Guy was a bold, courageous. Those are my adjectives. Man. So there's my noun. And again, that's repeated with another 2 adjectives and a noun. So with a cool, unruffled, and an appearance is my noun there. So I've used a 2A sentence for that bit. There's my 2A. Guy was a bold, courageous man with a cool, unruffled appearance. And then I've ended it off with that sentence that everyone's going to use. Obviously, I've added in a few details. So dressed in a tattered shirt and ripped jeans, he was ready for anything but this. So class 3, that's what I'd like you to have a go at. I'd like you to have a go at your character description as part of a story. Make sure you use the same first sentence and the last sentence. I'll put a link to my version as well. So if you want to tweak some ideas, get some ideas from Matt, you can use that as a bit of a model, as a bit of a scaffold, and tweak and change some of those bits around. Okay, so have a good go. And I'm looking forward to hearing some of your examples later on. Best of luck.